Section 18 of Stanton White, A Romance of the New South, by Asa Zadel Hall. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Chapter 18, The Poisoned Melon. "I'll fix the nigger that has been stealing my melons." Squire White was the speaker. Jim, Uncle Boston's grown-up nephew, the auditor. The former was sprinkling some of his choice melons with a white powder, while the latter was hoeing corn on the other side of the line fence. The negro paused in his work and gazed stupidly at the squire, as if not quite comprehending the import of the remark. "I say," said Squire White, holding up the package from which he was shaking the white powder, thus displaying the druggist's mark of skull and crossbones, "I say that the nigger stealing my watermelons after this will wish he hadn't." Jim showed perturbation. "But, Mr. Squire," he protested, "some po' person what don't know nothing 'bout the poison might come 'long and accidentally taste one of them millions, and die for sure." "I reckon you can tell your friends to keep away, then." "Oh, Mr. Squire, suttinly y'all don't 'spect to catch none of my friends round here tucking what don't belong to 'em. Howsomever, some stranger might come 'long and be hungry. A thief is better dead than alive any day. Only don't let 'em go away too far to die, for they make mighty good fertilizer." Jim's perturbation increased. "But just consider, Mr. Squire, of the luscious, luxtrating fruit you's destroying by that fearful and obnoxious poison." "They are my melons," said the squire, with an air of finality. Just at dark, as I was taking an after-supper stroll on the front piazza, a tall figure came bounding up the steps, and an agitated voice shouted, "Mr. Edson, come quick! Lil Samuel and Barry's sick." Without delay I followed Jim to the little cabin back in the clearing where grew the orange tree. No light was in the gloomy interior save the smoky flickering of the pine knots in the big fireplace. On the only bed that the cabin boasted lay the unconscious lad. There was a distinct odor of liquor about the place. The boy is only drunk, thought I. Turning to the three women who were moaning and wailing boisterously at the bedside, I exclaimed gravely, "You had better send for the doctor." "No, no, Mr. Edson, no, the child be dead 'fore the doctor get halfway here. Oh, my child Samuel, what made you eat him fo'?" "Was it something he ate or something he drank that made him sick?" said I, perplexedly. "Oh, my Lord, it wasn't nothin' he drunk. He done found some food, and his daddy he say it was poison. Oh, my lil Samuel, my chile, we just guv him a taste of liquor to fotch him true." The boy was lying amid a profusion of blankets, poultices, and hot bricks. He was sweating tremendously. His breathing was heavy, his eyes half closed, his face flushed. I saw that something must be done at once, but was at a loss how to proceed. Then came an inspiration. Quickly I thrust my finger far back into the child's throat. A gagging, a belching. Then I began to wonder how one small stomach could have contained so much watermelon and whiskey. "Where did Samuel get the watermelon?" I queried. "He done found it," said Aunt Sarah, stolidly. "Where was it growing?" "I didn't know there were any melons on our place." "Well, he just done found it over there," jerking her thumb in an upward direction. Without further parley, I strode out into the night. "Where's y'all going?" said Jim, following. "To Squire White's. It's an outrage that a poor defenseless child should be deliberately poisoned." Jim still followed. I heeded him not, but plunged on through the darkness. A pack of dogs rushed howling about our heels as we neared the squire's house. I kicked off the most insistent of the canine group and knocked loudly at the door. "Who's there?" said a voice from within. while I heard distinctly the click-click of a gun being cocked. "Harold Edson, let me see you at once. It's a matter of life and death." The bolts flew back, and Squire White, with profuse apologies, invited me inside. Jim, unobserved, slunk back into the shadow of the house. "Squire," said I, refusing by a gesture the proffered chair, "there has been foul play somewhere. Little Samuel has been poisoned by eating a watermelon, which I suspect was stolen. What the poison was, I think you must know. There is no time for me to give my opinion of a man who will poison a human being for so trivial an offense as the theft of a watermelon. What I've come for is something to counteract this poison. If you bought the poison, you no doubt secured an antidote. I beg that if you do not care for the life now at stake, you will at least do the kindness to your neighbor, Mr. Edson, of saving a child that is under his protection." A look of astonishment, first noticeable on the Squire's face, now changed to one of unalloyed pleasure. "What," I commented mentally, "does the villain gloat over the blood of a helpless child?" Aloud I said, "Squire, you know that delay means death to the boy. Come, what's the antidote?" "I'd advise him to take some more of the same stuff." I surveyed him with contempt. "To show you that I am willing to taste my own prescriptions, I will swallow a large dose of this myself." I tried to protest, but he had already seized a package of white powder, marked conspicuously with skull and crossbones, and was literally devouring a mouthful of it. "Are you sure it will have no ill effect?" I asked, as soon as I could recover my wits. "Sure? Of course I'm sure. I reckon Pillsbury's best flour never hurt nobody." And then the Squire went off into a fit of laughter. "What?" I exclaimed perplexedly. "Just flour, that's all. I reckoned it'd have the same effect as poison if I showed that coon the label I pasted on the package. Don't you give me away now, or I'll not have a melon left on the whole place." I took some of the flour in my hand, begged the Squire's pardon for misjudging him, and hurried out into the night once more. A few questions sufficed to show that Jim knew nothing of the conversation just ended. Rushing to the bedside, I poured a liberal supply of flour down the child's throat. At that moment, the boy, aroused from his drunken stupor by my entrance, sat up and looked about composedly. "Law me," said the astonished women, holding up their hands in superstitious awe. "Just look how quick the medicine helped that child." "Yes," I answered, "I believe your boy will recover. You must be very careful, however, to see that he doesn't find any more watermelons." "Oh, Mr. Edson, you don't s'pose that our little Samuel done stole nothing, does you? Po' little lamb. 'Cause if you does, yo' surely is mistooken." End of Section 18. Read by James K. White, Chula Vista.